Welcome back to our Joy of Gaming. We're now 160 hours to Tears of the Kingdom, and these are our thoughts about the game and all of our things that we thought we'd share with you.
That's right. So yeah, I can't believe it, 160 hours so far into the game. I'm about 95 hours into the game. You're 65-ish hours into the game right now, and we've just been having a blast. So we thought we'd come in and just talk about our experience so far and maybe share about 10 different sort of advanced tips for the game. So you probably already started playing the game, you're enjoying it, but now that we have 65 hours under our belt, there's a lot we can really teach people, right?
Right, yeah.
So let's talk about, do you want to go first? You want to go first with your first tip?
Right, okay. So my first tip is go into like any caves that you'll see, because there's now hundreds of caves scattered across Hyrule now. And you never know, they might have something that you can use to your advantage inside of it, like weapons to even armor,
So yeah, these caves have been fantastic. So that was one big, we were wondering if we were going to see caves back or dungeons back in Zelda because...
Well, I mean, there's something like it, I guess,
Yeah. I mean, but everyone really wanted like caves or dungeons again in this one, and now we get them in this, which is really exciting. So, okay, so let's talk about these caves. Because there are, when you go in, can you tell people about the banners?
Okay.
Yeah, you got to tell people about this.
So I was talking to you about it the other day, and you're like, "What banners? What are you talking about?" There'll probably be one up on screen here soon, if not now. But it's basically of Misko's treasure, and there's a banner on the wall to signify, oh, you're gonna be getting treasure in this cave. So
it's like a spear. It's like a spear shoved into the cave wall with
so
fabric.
That like encourages you to go farther into this cave. There's armor here,
Yeah.
So that like I'll walk in, and I'll see that banner like on the wall or something, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta do this,
Yeah. So this will be a fun side quest. This will be something we need to get inside this cave deeper. And a lot of these caves, I'll spend like an hour in some of these caves.
Yeah.
So
some are tiny where you just walk in and you'll see the armor.
Yeah.
But then others are like where you can just go through it and they're like so big. You'll enter and you think, okay, that's where I entered. That's where the cave is. But then you'll go like hundreds of meters, deeper and farther.
Yeah.
I heard about this cave that actually goes into the depths.
Oh.
Yeah. So it gets that deep.
And it's so surprising because you'll literally be at like the lookout tower, and we're not going to any spoilers here, but you may want to look around there when you're underground there because some interesting stuff.
Exit,
yeah, there's some stuff there, and holy smokes,
don't just use it for your advantage. There's more, But I don't think you can access it right after you go into it.
I don't know. But so okay, caves. Let's just say we've been loving this game, having just an absolute blast with this game. And it's funny to hear like we have different experiences, right? Because you're a totally different section of the game. You went off on your own adventure totally separately. I'm on a totally separate side of the map doing shrine after shrine after shrine.
Well, now I'm... Ugh.
Well, yeah, right before we sat down here, he got into a big battle. We're not going to tell you about the big boss battle. But this boss battle really kicked his butt. So
like there's the 4 divine beast type things. If you've played Breath of the Wild, you know what that is.
Yeah.
Or the 4 regional phenomena, and you go through all these temples, Yeah. And I feel like, no spoilers, but I feel like the Rito one for me was the best one. You haven't done that one yet.
No, I haven't done it yet. No, I haven't. I've only done one of the regional phenomenon so far. So I've been because I did the one, and then I've been going off and doing shrine after shrine after shrine to level up my hearts, which that's not one of my tips, which I was gonna, but really is. If you
like, I was saying like there's stamina, right, that you need for certain things, and no spoilers, but sword that seals the darkness.
Yeah.
But after all the hearts, like. You were saying to me, like, what should I asked you, what should I get, stamina or hearts? And you said, just rack up on hearts, you know?
Yeah.
Because you're going to need those. And it turns out you do.
Yeah, so, that's why right out of the gate, I'm like, okay, instead of just going off and trying to accomplish big missions right now, like I just kept going after shrine after shrine after shrine. Four of them gives you the light blessings that allows you to go and get either heart container, a heart vessel,
but
or
then
stamina.
Also,
up.
I've realized if you can go to the Sky Islands and get the Sage's Wills. Have you gotten any of those?
I've got the one I think, right?
Sage's Will.
Yeah, I have.
It's not a sage. It's a will. It's kind of like a
I have
of blessing.
2 of them, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can go to one of the statues and pray and increase your bond with one of them.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be able to use them more often.
Oh.
Personally, I did Tulin because Tulin's the best.
Well, that's a good tip. That's not even on your list, but
Tell me in the comments if you like Tulin.
Okay.
Tulin's the best.
So that's the second one of your tips then. So you've done 2 tips. I haven't done any yet. So go up to the Sky Islands and get the sages.
Right.
The sages will. Okay.
Well, explore the Sky Islands as much as you can. You know?
Yeah. All right. So explore the Sky Islands, get the sages will, because then you can increase your bond up with your special power.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's a good tip. I didn't even know about that. That's good. I haven't even done that yet.
All right, now you do too.
All right, my first big tip is right out of the gate, go and unlock the camera on the Purapad. And the Purapad looks a lot like the Nintendo Switch,
Yeah,
okay?
people are getting suspicious.
Yeah, like that it is a Nintendo Switch. But anyway, go and unlock the camera. You need to unlock the camera in order to use it, because I made the mistake early on of going and doing a bunch of different quests or different things where I needed the camera and I couldn't use it. And I was like, well, how do I unlock this thing? What am I doing wrong here? So you need to go to Lookout Tower. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Go to the Lookout Tower. Once you get there, the main Lookout Tower, and figure it out and unlock your camera. It's not as simple as a simple click, and you've got to go and do something to unlock this camera, but it's very, very important because there are so many side quests. There are so many stables. There's tons of side quests
By the
that
way,
require
you might need
the camera
for this though. Paraglider.
Okay, you need a paraglider
to get the camera.
Okay.
Because, you know.
All right, so get the paraglider and get the camera.
This video might have minor spoilers.
Yeah.
So, like if you're on the Great Sky Island still,
yeah,
you probably shouldn't watch this video.
So go get the camera, unlock it, because you're going to need it for all sorts of side quests, and you're going to be taking photos of different objects and things that you'll need to sort of report back to other people about. But I can count so many different side quests, totally unrelated, that require you to use the camera. And there was a point where you didn't have the camera unlocked for the longest time, and you kept like missing all of these side quests and all of these things. I was like, go get the camera unlocked. So do that early. Okay, second tip here, another tip from being 160 hours into this game so far, is use the coordinates. Now, if you look in the lower right-hand part of your screen here, you'll notice that there are like latitude, longitude, there are coordinates, right? There's also depth coordinates. And so a lot of people, when they first were showing this on the screen, people were like, why are there like coordinates on here? Like we need precise coordinates, like GPS location.
Like, honestly, I'm curious too what you're going to say.
Well, because, and you haven't done some of these yet, but I've done a lot of these side quests that require you to go back and find out where you were specifically and use these coordinates to go back sort of at strategic points where you'll be underground. So you'll be in a cave and you'll need to be precise, and you'll need to ascend to get to, you might need to pop up inside of a jail cell. You might need to pop up inside of a treasure room. You might need to pop up inside of, I don't know, someone's house and read their diary while they're at lunch. Like that's a side quest.
Well, I mean, it's pretty like endless possibilities of what you can use.
Yeah. But so you need to use these coordinates. So for instance, one of these side quests needed to be accomplished at lunchtime. And I found out how to finally ascend, and I ascended right up behind the guy, and I needed him to not be there. Okay. So then I went back down quietly and.
Well, it freezes once you get up. So.
Well, it freezes, and I went right back down because he was there. He's not supposed to be there. I needed to read something of his, and he wasn't allowed to be there. He saw me, he would have flipped out and thrown me out. So I went back down, marked the coordinates precisely because you need to be in that exact spot. And then I waited till lunchtime. And I went back to this cave and I did it again. Many hours passed and I went back. So use the coordinates. Now, the coordinates are actually, so they're not just there for fun, they're surprisingly useful in this game. So use coordinates to do all sorts of things in the game.
Yeah.
All right, another tip from you.
Okay, so another tip from me is, I know I was saying in my Breath of the Wild video, is that like I hated the blood moons a lot. But for this video, I'm gonna say use the blood moons to your advantage, because especially if you have a strong weapon that you got from fusing something together, with like a heart from a stone talus or like flux core or something, you know.
Okay.
They'll respawn after the blood moon, right? So, you should go and defeat those bosses again, because that'll just help you with your weapons, you know?
So I was like, oh, I didn't think about that, because usually I hate the blood moons and I want to try to be avoiding any areas where a lot of bad guys are respawning after the blood moon comes back. So the blood moon brings these guys back to life after you've defeated them, right? So I said, well, what specifically are you talking about? And you said like flux constructs, like, which is a type of bad guy. They're
in the trailer even, you know?
Yeah, they give off all kinds of awesome weapons.
Yeah.
Right?
And also there's this, like, core of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, basically this, spinny weapon. They're like 2 cylinders, and they're both spinning inward.
Yeah, like spikes.
And like, the stronger ones, there's Flux Construct 1, 2, and 3. At this point, I've beaten all of them. But there's like multiple around the map.
Cool.
And plus,
you
know, you can go back and beat them again.
There's a lot of them in the Sky Islands. Yeah, the Flux Constructs.
I think that's the only place you can find them.
All right, my next tip is to use your amiibos. Now, I've got a whole bunch of amiibos here. Got the 8-bit Link. All right, this is one that you just bought. This is with your own money, your own allowance money. This is...
I wanted to hold it
This is Smash Brothers Link.
Yeah.
But anyway, inside, they've actually built the amiibo functionality right inside the main abilities window. So that's how much reverence they're giving for you to use these amiibos in the game. And you can use any Zelda amiibo from any of the games, right? Breath of the Wild, 8-bit Link from the original Zelda.
You can even use Ganondorf from Super Smash Brothers as well.
Okay, and you can use the Bokoblins, you can use the Guardians.
My cousin just got the Guardian. I think it's super cool.
That Guardian one is really cool. But anyway, and you can do it once a day. So this is really cool. You get all sorts of food and items and armor and everything. From
this one that I just got, I created a save point. Here's like a little tip. I created a save point. It's not on my tips and tricks though. So I just used this amiibo. And if I kept getting like these soldiers' shields and stuff like that, then I had better shields, you know? I would just go back and load that save point again. And do it until like I get something good. And then it turns out I got the trousers of the hero.
Ah, so you saved it before you did it. Then you did it, and then you went back and loaded after
if I got like a soldier's shield or something.
Because you don't want to load the autosave one. Because it'll autosave after you get the stuff. So anyway, use the amiibos because there's so many great things. You'll get armor. If you have run out of food, or if you have run out of arrows and you're in a pinch.
And also they just look cool.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, if you're in a pinch and you need some arrows, like there was a point where I had no arrows. And you said, oh yeah, we'll use one of your amiibos, Dad. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. So I pulled out one of my amiibos, and boom, and I got a big bundle of arrows. And I was like, that's great. So obviously they cost money. They cost like $14, $15 or something like that. But they're super cool. But use the amiibos. They've built it into the mechanic of the game. And also, right in the abilities menu. It's right there.
And also there's the Tears of the Kingdom one. We don't have it because
it's sold out everywhere.
It's sold out everywhere. And my friend, I was talking to him, and he's like, oh yeah, that one, it gives you some fine stuff, but then also it just looks cool. And I'm like, oh yeah. The day that it came out, the game came out, I saw you in the store.
Yeah.
Getting it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's more. And he was the one to get the last one on sale. And I don't think the store has restocked. Or if they do, then...
I haven't seen. I've been to so many different stores, and they've been sold out of the Tears of the Kingdom amiibo, where it's really cool with his hand.
I'm so jealous. But it's also good because we keep buying these other Link amiibos. you know?
Yeah.
So by the time that we get it, we'll have all these ones so we can use them simultaneously.
Yeah, really cool. So you can use them once a day, and you can use all of them once a day, not just one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
Or
your
use
next tip.
metric. My next tip is to go after all the armor. You know, there's like quests and stuff, but particularly look out for armor, you know? Like,
Well, there's lots of side quests that you can go on to get armor.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's these things that, like, you'll be rewarded with, these armors, and it's like defense up or attack up, and also they look cool, you know?
Well, how are you getting them? So be specific. So you can get attack up and defense up.
But then also there's like glide mobility, and there's also, the Zora armor that lets you move faster in water and swim up waterfalls.
So when you say go after the armor, if someone wanted to do that, what would they do? I mean, they've got to follow side quests, or
yeah, or if you're cheating, just go on YouTube. But
no, don't
nobody
do
likes
that.
to do that.
Don't cheat on the game.
Come on, you can do this.
But there's plenty. So one way to find a lot of these different armors, let me just say it, is talk to everybody.
Yeah,
Okay?
You're telling me that, and I'm like, oh my god, let me just play the game. But you were right. I got a really good armor. Like, there's this one stable that you'll go to, and there's a shrine right by it. But behind the shrine is another campfire, and you'll go to it, and you'll be rewarded with so good, like, a piece of one armor, but then also the riddles for another one. It's the fierce deity, you know?
The fierce deity armor, yeah.
And I love that armor so much. Plus it gives attack up. And the riddles are so cool, but then it says, like, come back here once you have the 3 keys. And those count as the keys. And then you get the sword, which is so cool, because that sword is awesome.
So talk to everybody, because you're just walking along.
See, that's what I meant, but you get rewarded.
And they'll be like, oh, I'm going on an adventure to find Misko's armor or whatever, Misko's armor. And you're like, what? Where's that? And, you know, and
like, just tell me, you know?
just tell me,
I'm
and they'll
gonna
give
get
you, they'll
it.
sort of send you on this quest to find it. It's not a side quest. It's a totally optional thing if you want to do it. All right, my next tip: use recall ability to fly. Now, you might think you'll only be able to launch these wing gliders by using the rail system. So there's rail systems in the game where you put the wing gliders on them on a lot of different cliff sides. You'll see these you'll see the rail systems.
You might think that you just need that.
You might think that's the only way I'm going to be able to fly these things. But
that's
use
the
your
first thing that I thought, right?
Use your recall ability, and what you do is use Ultra Hand. So you want to lift up the glider off the ground, push it out over the cliff. Yeah, over the cliff. And then
take it back.
And then take it back and set it back down. And then
step on it.
And then hit recall. And then boom, you're out of there.
And then you go there. And then if you have a fan, like, hit it or something.
Yeah.
And then stop recall, and then you'll just start going.
Yeah. So you want to use Ultra Hand to push it out over the ledge, hold it there for a few seconds.
Should have used this one.
Bring it back, set it down, jump on it, hit the recall, and then go out, turn off recall, and then you're sort of like mid-flight already, and then boom, you
and
just
this
get to
works
fly.
for not just the wings, too. Like, if you want to get up on a ledge or something. I liked Magnesis better, I'm going to say that, in Breath of the Wild. And this is because it has such a longer range, you know?
Magnesis?
Yeah. Like, I was just helping my cousin with this shrine, and he, like, couldn't figure it out, and I'm like, fine, I'll help you. And even I couldn't figure it out, but then, like, there was a part that we needed that was over the fence, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to be able to get that because I'm so used to Ultra Hand. But Magnesis...
He's playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Magnesis, I could grab it from so far away. I could grab it from halfway across the shrine.
Right.
And it's a big shrine, too.
But in this game now, we have recall, which you can use from a very far distance.
Yeah.
So recall, you can do it from very, very far away. So use your flying ability with recall to be able to fly. And you can also use recall to fly on rocks. So you might notice out of the sky, there's big chunks of the sky islands that are falling down. Use recall, jump on those rocks, and have it take you back up like a giant elevator. So use recall all the time.
It goes like the same height as the Skyview Towers would take you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
My next tip is do all the geoglyphs, right? You were telling me that one of the, I think it was Johnny.
Yeah.
Was from Happy Console Gamer. One of his friends wasn't doing the geoglyphs, and he was almost finished with the game. Like, let me just say, the geoglyphs are optional. You don't want to get it, fine, but
then you're missing a huge part of the game if you miss
and
it.
the story too.
Yeah.
Like, the story is one of the most, like, the best parts, you know?
Well, so the dragon tears is what you'll get from completing the geoglyphs. So you're getting
you don't really get anything, but you get more information about the story. And let me just say, get all the geoglyphs, because if you particularly want the Master Sword, and then you have to do all the geoglyphs, because one of my favorite Zelda Tears of the Kingdom YouTubers was saying that do the geoglyphs, because if you go and get the Master Sword, then it ruins the whole story, you know, because after the geoglyphs, it's basically the end of the story.
To get the Master Sword.
Right.
So
yeah.
don't get the Master Sword until you've done the geoglyphs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good tip. And they're scattered around all over the map, right? And you can see them from the sky. And, you know, and so descending down, and then what's cool is you have to find something hidden inside of the geoglyphs, and it's really cool to go hunting for them, and get this.
Something isn't really a spoiler. It's like a bowl of water.
Yeah. But anyway, you have to find something, and you learn about this.
But then it has cool cutscenes, and so far one of my favorites is like really, really, really cool.
Yeah. So all right, that's a good tip. All right, here's my last tip. All right, this is the 10th and last tip for Tears of the Kingdom, sort of after 160 hours of being in the game. Use shields and build your shields. So of course, fusing is a big factor in this game. It's a big ability in this game. Use your shields, so the empty shields that you have, and fuse like all sorts of different constructs to them. You can put a flame emitter on there. You can put the electricity zonai charge on there. You can do.
You can.
You can put all of the different zonai.
Like, don't be stupid and put a mushroom on it.
Well, you could even use it. You could even do that,
And
because
there's
if
the
someone
puff
hits you,
shrooms.
if someone hits you with a puff shroom on it, it'll create a cloud and let you
Imagine
disappear.
there's a puff shroom on here. You parried, and then they don't know where you are because it's a puff of smoke.
Right, it's like Batman throwing down a smoke bomb and he's able to get away. But no,
instead
but
it's
what I
like-
want you to do is put on electricity. I want you to put on the different.
But be careful though, because if you have a metal shield, then you'll just drop the shield.
Yeah, so you need to be careful, but use the cannon. Stick a cannon on your shield. Stick the flame emitter on your shield.
But also, don't take that as, okay, use something explosive, because if you put like a bomb on it, then you parry or somebody hits it, you'll blow up too.
Well,
So you're also gonna have to be careful, but you know.
it depends on the shield though, because I've definitely put on giant dynamite containers on my shield.
Yeah.
And if someone hits you with that, you're protected, but they are not. And so they'll blow up. But put all that kind of stuff on your shields. Don't have an empty shield. And you can put like a horn on there if you want or something.
But then there's always
use
that
use the flame emitters, use the electricity ones, use the laser one, use the cannons. Because when you launch that against like 3 guys charging at you, a cannon will shoot out and can take out 4 guys at one time.
But also, I'm gonna say, like, there's, like, if you want the chunky shields, that's fine. Just know that you're not gonna be able to shield surf with it. And shield surfing is a much bigger part of this game, you know? Because there's rails and stuff that you can just shield surf, and there's much more terrain that you can go across.
Yeah, a lot of sloping hills that you can use it on.
But then, like, that's why you can fuse a cart or something that you can get from dispensers, or like a mine cart, which helps you really go on rails through Goron City and stuff. Also, like, you can create almost a skateboard, you know?
Right. So with the shields thing, use the shields, but then also one other thing I want to mention is build shields. So think about all of the ways in which you can use slabs, like slabs of wood, slabs of cement, things like that, where you can pick them up and create almost like, a box, and even like put a roof on it. So when you're going up to enemies, a group of enemies, you have a shield in front of you, like think of it like a triangle, but like this, right? And then putting like a roof on top of it, so that you, while you're fighting these guys, can ascend to the roof. Now you've got like a turret where you can jump up there out of their way, out of their attack, and you can literally then fire arrows at them. And then jump down, go back into your shield and hide yourself and protect yourself if someone's going to shoot a flame at you, especially if you're fighting like a Gleeok or a big boss battle or something. Create shields that you can carry around, use Ultra Hand, and put down your little, almost like a little house.
When you said a turret, it reminded me of Contra. Because of all the guns, because you held up a gun like this.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like you can just turret them down or something.
Yeah.
So I'm like, turret, Contra, oh.
Yeah, so there's so many things you can do with these shields, and think about ways in which you can build them as well to protect yourself.
Also, you can just build for fun, too. You know, like there's probably a ton of Minecraft lovers out there that are playing this game.
Yeah.
And, like the sticky green goo that you use to piece some things together. Can be used to build so many different things. Like the other day I just built a house, you know, because I wanted to. But then there's also Hudson Construction that you can, I think, build your own home. Like with these blocks or something. But that's when you're into the story.
So further into the story. But yeah, there's all sorts of fun stuff. You can build cars and all, you know, God knows everything. But anyway, these are 10 tips that we wanted to share with you 160 hours into the game that we've experienced. Things that are not beginner stuff, but more kind of, hey, all of the hours that we've put into this game so far, we've kind of uncovered and maybe wish we could have done some of these things a little earlier, like unlocking the camera earlier and going after the geoglyphs, not ignoring them. They're not just pretty designs on the ground. They really have a very, very important part of this game. They're really an important part of this storyline as well. So, all right, everyone, thank you guys. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a part of our great community. And we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.